So I started thinking, you know what is worship to him? And Don's spoken for many years about the fact that in many respects we are worship to the Father. And I didn't really understand the depth of that until we had our youngest son, whose name is Dylan, and he's severely disabled and nonverbal, and he's 18, and he's autistic, and he's chronic care. And he kind of revolutionized my life as it relates to worship. Because I remember in the early days, my wife and I would stand outside his room because we were concerned that he would stop breathing. And so we would listen very closely to him through the door. And if we heard the breathing, we were filled with joy. And I thought, wow, do you think God's like that with us? You know, maybe it's just the fact that we're breathing and that we're his creation and that he loves us so much. Maybe that means a lot to him. You know, I watch Dylan Dylan's an interesting kid. Someday I'm going to write a book. I got to find a publisher. But someday I'm going to write a book about Dylan, because one of the things that he possesses that I'm jealous of is he has the inability to doubt. Doubt is a learned behavior. And this probably has nothing to do with raw worship, but it may be a catalyst to get you to that place. Because I think doubt is one of the big cripplers of our Christian life. Doubt is a result of dashed expectations. And Dylan doesn't know how to doubt. All Dylan knows is that when he's hungry, his dad feeds him. And when he's cold, his dad puts an extra coat on him. And he never doubts whether it's going to happen or not. He doesn't doubt. How cool is that? Man, his world looks attractive to me. And I realized that I was consumed with doubt. Oh, I doubt if this is what God wants me to do. I'm not sure, and I bet if I pray for this, it's not going to happen, because I prayed for it before and it never happened. So I doubt if God will ever answer that. Dylan doesn't have that component part in him. He just knows whatever his needs are, they're going to be met. And he's never been let down. And the question is, when have you been let down? I mean, when have you been let down? By God. Not by the church, yes. I'm sure we could all raise our hands 100 times. But by God, when have you been let down? And the answer has to be never. He's never let you down. That seems like a good reason to worship him. I mean, my son, I think he adores me. I don't know. He's never told me he loved me because he can't speak. So what's it like to love somebody for 18 years and never hear it back? And that takes me back to the whole worship thing. We tell God we love him. And this is a very general statement. But we tell God we love him because we want to hear something in return. It's like when you say to your spouse, honey, I love you. And then you wait. You wait to hear, I love you too. But what if you didn't hear that? Would that mean that your spouse didn't love you back? But why the expectation? Why the need for the reciprocal? Shouldn't we just be loving out of our desire to love? Shouldn't we be loving God just because we love God, not because of what we're going to get out of it? So I've loved this little boy for 18 years and have never heard "I love you." I've gotten 2 unprovoked hugs in 18 years. Like, I'll hug him, but he'll just meander around and do whatever he wants. I'm just hugging him because I love him. And I'm not getting anything in return. What I am getting is the ability to love selflessly. And that's an amazing thing, especially when you apply it to God. Now I have no expectations when I worship God, when I tell God I love Him. I have no expectations whatsoever. Yeah, there is a residual reciprocal effect from loving Him. Yeah, you do feel good, but it's like when you give your spouse a dozen roses. You give your spouse a dozen roses because you love them, not because of what you're going to get back. And I guess that's the big default change for me, is now I've learned how to worship without the requirement of getting something in return. Now, we do, and I think you and I kind of somewhat disagree on this, but you could tell them how wrong I am once I stop. Like, I don't think we need to get anything back from Him. The fact that I'm sitting here and my heart's still beating, I feel pretty blessed. I mean, have any of you had that experience where you walked away from worship kind of disenchanted by it because you didn't like what happened? I mean, if you're honest, you'll say yes. But it's not about you. It's like, how horrible would it be for my wife if I told her I loved her or gave her gifts only because I was looking for what I would be getting in return? It's conditional love. But Dylan taught me that conditional love is a default. And now I'm loving somebody who can't, in any way that I'm familiar with, show me any love in return. Gosh, it's helped me to love the people I didn't love before.